Hello, everybody. Happy Saturday and welcome into ZSR3. Today we've got Game 2 of the Skyward Sword Randomizer Season 3 Tournament Losers Bracket Round 3 between Audrey and Mario. Tracking today are Vibrant Viola, stepping in for the second time today, and Fastest the One. And commentating alongside me, also for the second time today, Snacks. How are you, Snacks?
I'm doing good, man. I'm excited to watch Game 1 this morning. It was a lot of fun, so excited to see what Game 2 has for us.
Yeah, should be a good race. Definitely Mario, a little more experienced runner. I think he played in Season 1 or Season 2. Audrey came in after Season 2, but has improved a ton. So I think will be a close race, even though I think the seeds are 6 and 12, but I think, it's randomizer, anything could happen. And maybe we'll get a Game 3 tomorrow.
I sure hope so, but we'll see.
Yeah, we have surprisingly not had a ton of Game 3s, so any predictions on what dungeons we get?
I mean, I'll always throw out my beloved LMF, but I've still yet to actually commentate a race where LMF was one of the dungeons, but
LMF not being a thing, like not being in Season 3 has just become a meme.
Oh yeah.
Because
I've literally seen it once out of probably the 10 or 15 races I've watched.
Yeah, someone's gonna do some statistical breakdown, and like none of the qualifiers had LMF. A lot of first round, I think we had like one LMF seed. So maybe we'll get some LMF just for you.
I sure would hope so.
I mean, I'm gonna go with Fungin's LMF Fire Sanctuary.
Banger of a group there.
Yeah, and we'll see where their random spawn is here.
Real interesting. Okay.
And Pietro's dead. That's nice. Skyview Earth Temple Stanship.
Okay.
Sorry, no LMF for you today, Snacks.
It's fine. I'll get over it.
Yeah. It's gonna be funny if Elden Volcano is Baron.
Patron Gorge. Okay.
It's the Tro Gorge in mine, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Elden Start is nice. There's a fair amount you can do. Hopefully Mario remembers to douse this chest here that Audrey's going back for. I didn't see what their random item was that they started with.
I can't tell.
The bow.
Okay.
That'll actually be really convenient, though. And there's our first pick 6 disappointment. Because Petro is Baron, so there are 13 Gratitude Crystal packs that are going to be useless. They will all douse, because that's how chest dowsing works.
Yeah, a bit of an annoying thing, because I'm sure there will be some super annoying chest that pings and it'll just be useless crystals.
Yeah, I mean, on the other hand, I think it's important that dowsing is very powerful, so having things that douse that you maybe don't need does counterbalance it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, you don't like Petro's house dead, but we did see both the runners go route in some money too. I think we saw this morning. Money sometimes can be tight and important.
Yes. Yeah,
Skyward Sword does not have good money grinding options, and so early on in a seed, it can be important to get some.
What the? Okay.
So
wow.
They already should have logical access to Earth Temple with both keys. There's not... Oh, wait, with the bow, actually, there's a decent amount they can do.
Yeah.
You don't want to double dip it, and you don't necessarily want to go in without a beetle. But... And really, you don't... But, like... It's going to be something kind of on their minds now.
Yeah, I guess personally, I think I would hold off for a bit.
Oh, for sure.
Just because you still have all of Skyloft and like a bunch of other overworld stuff, but
yeah. Actually, I take that back. If I were playing, I might do it because I would feel like I'm the underdog, and it would be a mistake. But if you're playing smart, you should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It depends how risky you want to play, but bottle here on.
Yeah, that'll make the sky a little faster. You can do Oriel.
Always nice to be able to knock Oriel out in one trip, but
yeah. Yeah, I mean, between that and Beatrice Dead, sky routing will be pretty similar, I think.
Yeah, I would be shocked if either runner takes a super weird route.
No. I mean, if Beatrice isn't hinted, sometimes you will do some things to route in some conversations, but no way here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we see Mario again getting chests that are not dowsing, deciding he wants money.
Yeah, and with Skyward Sword, early beetle is usually a pretty... It can be a little spooky if you have like a really good item on one of the higher beetles, just because now you need to route in a ton of money.
Yeah, I have played the one and only seed on Season 3 settings that required you to do Bamboo Island because there was not enough treasure or rupees. As I said, rupee grinding, not ideal in this game.
No.
Second bottle.
Okay.
Probably not going to need it, but you know, if they have to do Fledge, it'll be nice to have.
Yeah.
It is one of our always hints.
As it rightfully probably should be. I don't know if I would enjoy doing Fledge every seed.
I think it's a little better because LMF doesn't start raised. So in that sense, it's not as early, but yeah, it's... Fledge's Crystals is not a fun one to do, which is why it's an always hit.
As we actually have simultaneous warping up here.
I mean, we're probably going to see them route this the same. They're going to start with the Bamboo Island hint, then go to Lumpy Pumpkin, go to Oriel and Pero.
Yep.
And then probably go to... The Skyloft routing could be a little different, but the Sky routing should be pretty similar. Mario muscle memorying Elden Volcano to Scaldera. I think that's one of our key pieces.
Yeah.
One of the two.
Yeah, I think... Were they both in Volcano? No. One was in Boko Base?
Was one in Boko Base? I don't know. One was in Elden, in the dig space.
Yeah.
So
regardless, yeah.
In the crawl space. Oh yeah, both in Volcano.
Oh, okay, yeah. Sanchi.
Oh, that is quite the hint.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So we're going to Summit?
Or the Boko Base part of Summit?
Maybe, yeah.
Is that a sword? Looked like a sword. Yeah. Fire Shield Earrings required. There are 6 checks in these settings that are locked behind Fire Shield Earrings. So going to be a while till we know what that is, but that is quite the hint. Also, well, with Sandship, you're not as worried about it. I was going to say, I don't know if either of them know the whip skip RBM in Sandsea, but that's something you're not going to worry about for a while. What would be diabolical, though, is like if Gus Bellows are on Skydive Chest in that. The reason that chest is hinted is because you can't douse it from outside, and having to climb up there twice to find out if it has something is just very unfun. And upper Skyloft.
Okay, so most likely Beal was in that area, if I had to guess.
I mean, it could be Emerald Tablet, too.
Could also be, yeah.
But also it could be Water Dragon Scale or Mitts.
I mean, if the game wants to be really annoying, yeah. But
yeah. It's probably Emerald Tablet, though. That tends to be the common one.
Well, there's our Mitts, so it's not bad.
That's going to be nice when they both warp back to start.
Yeah, a couple checks you can get with those.
And yeah, not really surprised we're going to see them both start up here. The statue, it's going to be a fairly conventional route. Start up here, go to the Knight Academy, go to the bazaar, check out Beetle's shop.
Yeah,
we're going to see them synced up for a while.
Yeah, I guess depending on what items you get here. Yep, there's our Emerald Tablet.
Yeah. That's almost certainly our path item.
Yeah.
And the Water Dragon Scale. That's actually going to be really nice with Farron. Because they can do most of Lake Floria now.
Yeah, Farron looking pretty juicy after this.
Yeah, I mean, path hints for Sphere Zero items is just the way Randomizer works sometimes.
Yeah.
Like...
And whip.
Oh.
Holy cow. Jesus.
Wow.
Okay. Why don't... The one time we don't have Ancient Cistern?
Well, Sandship is required, so... There's a very good chance that whip is still needed. But also logically needed to get the Fire Shield earrings. And not having to do the RBM is way faster.
Oh, for sure. More free money.
You're going to take that, though.
Oh, easily.
That one you're not going to be as happy about because you're tapped out. At least Mario is. But yeah, I mean, I do wonder if after the Skyloft trip we're going to see them diverge, or if they're both just going to go do Elden dig spots.
I could see a bit of a divergence.
Like, I guess you don't necessarily want to go to Earth Temple without a beetle, and you don't necessarily want to go to Earth Temple, but like Skyview without a beetle is worse. I think we'll probably see them both go to Farron though, because with scale, there's a lot they can do.
Yeah. We'll see if they decide to climb Deku Tree. I know with Claws.
Without Bellows, it's not. You can't climb it.
Oh, right. Duh.
Yeah.
It's fine, because Bellows will just be on Beetle, right?
Neighbor's Wisdom has a slingshot, which that is possibly required.
That's okay. Interesting.
The way the hints work, slingshots and bows, it's almost impossible for them to be less than possibly required.
Gotcha.
Basically, the only way a slingshot can be unrequired is if you start with a slingshot. But then it actually won't pop up in the hints at all. Well, for a trial, it won't pop up. I think for bows, they have to be hard locked. Okay, now you're going to want to go to Farron and just clear all of Skyview. Decision just got a lot easier.
Yeah, this I will say in general though, the fact that this seed is so much. Their first seed was so slow at the start, and then you have this where it's like.
And Adri is picking up Tim the Tumbleweed, so he's the winner in our heart. If Mario does not pick it up, we can declare the race over.
As yes, everybody in chat. They will. Oh well, okay.
Well, there we go.
All right. Well, I guess we know who to root for.
I will. There was a Remlets race where someone lost the race because they went and got the tumbleweed. So I do not actually fault anyone who does not pick up the tumbleweed, even though it is a funny community joke.
Yeah, but it's kind of one of those, like, every community has that one item that just kind of becomes the meme.
Right, like Greg for Ooter, Trevor for Wind Waker, and Mario missing the waterfall cave there. That's is
a bit unfortunate.
I don't go for this trick because I'm just not consistent enough with it. I feel like I don't lose enough time.
Yeah, I mean, going through the cave the normal way isn't all that slow.
Yeah, if the chest at the top has something, then it is slower to do it backwards. So you're kind of just playing the odds. But again, the runners kind of need money, and well, that's going to douse. Oh, that's unfortunate for Mario.
Yeah, that.
Although he at least doesn't have to go to the sky. Our path hints so far are both basically solved. We got Elden Volcano's Scaldera, which is a key piece for Earth Temple, we think, and Upper Skyloft to Gyrokium 1, which is an Emerald Tablet.
All right, Adri finishing up here. Looks like they are just going to go straight to Farron, which makes a ton of sense.
Once we got that beetle, this made way more sense than going to Elden.
Yeah, for sure.
So we'll probably see him do everything you can do here, except for the Kikwi Elder's reward, which is probably the slowest check you can do in these settings. It's a sometimes hint. And
yeah, it would be
often avoided.
Yeah, I would be rather surprised if either runner decides to go for it.
But yeah, we're going to see Mario basically follow Adri in here. I don't know, not much else to say right now other than we're going to get another hint. 3 hints, actually, here in Farron.
Mm-hmm.
There's our duplicate for always. I was going to say Mario does know the earring skip in Boko Base, but actually that trick has been patched out or banned since the Remlets tournament, so
okay.
Even if you wanted to, could not do it. It was one of those inadvertent things that developers didn't know was possible, because nobody had tested it, and the developers were like, yeah, we didn't mean for this, so we're going to patch it back in, so you can't get through.
Gotcha.
Yeah, not sure what else to say besides we're kind of just going to see a pretty standard loop around Farron here. Adri will probably go into Floria first before he goes to... we are going to see him use the beetle to peek what's behind this Bumble Rock. I couldn't tell.
I honestly didn't even know you could do that peek, so...
Yeah, I couldn't tell what it was. The chest that's bomb locked has something.
Nothing up there.
Yeah. Mario is actually going to do the first Kikwi here. Which, if you're here, is like not the worst idea in the world. Is that another... I think that's another sword.
That is indeed. Couldn't quite tell when he first started beetling, but yeah.
Yeah. He saw it much more quickly than I did. I was like, "That is that a sword?"
I was like, it kind of looks like a sword, but I couldn't. But also on these commentary pages, it's a little tough to...
Yeah.
Some of those peaks can be kind of tricky.
I'm also, when I play, don't always trust my eyes the first time. So I will peek things. I'll be like, wait, was that? Let me look back.
Yeah. Alright.
Some more money. At this point, everything in Beetle's shop is in Logic now.
I don't think we ever actually peeked what was on 1,000.
We did. It was a second bow, so that they don't need. I didn't see what was on. We didn't see anyone buy the 300 item.
Gotcha. Okay.
And there's our fake bomb bag. Quite unfortunate.
Yeah, would have definitely been nice to get the real thing, but...
Yeah. Unfortunately, the seed is not that kind.
Okay. This chest does ping. Harp. Nice.
Not too useful immediately, but is required to beat the steed.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, it's not super common we see harp be like directly useful right away.
Yeah, it only unlocks 2 things immediately without any other items, so...
And with all 3 trials getting hints, it makes it...
Yeah, I mean... Unlike prior seasons, you're not really inclined to skip the harp requirement for Silent Realms. Because because the RBMs tend to be kind of slow. The harp is always required anyway. Kind of one of the few exceptions is like claw shots hinted in a trial.
Yeah.
Just because of how useful they are. I think we had the statistical analysis, and claw shots are a path item 99.8% of seeds.
Jeez. I mean, I believe it. Okay.
So that's one thing that fire shield earrings cannot be required for.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's probably upper Boko base.
That's also my assumption, but we'll see.
Yeah. And that's a 80% shot at this point, so. Yeah, I guess. So we're gonna see both runners do Skyview. I don't think, given the items they have, I think they're just gonna do it normally. No, unless the second key is on the Three Eyes chest, we're gonna just see them do it all normally, back in time.
I also don't think either runner set up their save anyway, so.
Well, for the bit warp, you don't need a
okay.
file. Yeah. But I mean, with mitts and scale, like, you don't have a lot of reason to do the bit warp because it's not really going to save you time.
Mm-hmm.
The main reason you want to do it is if there's a small key on the digging spot, you can skip that. Adri pulling the hornets. Unfortunately, there's not really a way to make them go away.
Yeah, after a bit they just kind of give up, but
yeah. The bug net is the way, if you have it.
And people say bug net is useless.
Jasnix would never say that, though. It's his favorite item.
Is the number one bug net aficionado.
Clean cube warp from Adri. And there we go. Creek Welder's reward is dead.
Yep. So, a bit unfortunate for Mario to read that, but
yeah,
probably not going
to. Skyview had not been required. That hint might have been skipped. That is the one thing about Gossip Stone hints, is just because the hints are placed doesn't mean they're in useful locations.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, scale makes Skyview a lot faster. That might be Three Eyes. Yeah, Adri does not. I think he was thinking about going in the left side, but realized with scale you actually don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
It is a really nice shortcut in this dungeon. Pot shots are the nicer one, but
well, unfortunately the game's not going to be that nice, but
if only. Yeah, Mario just gonna do the crystal warp, beetle warp here. It's another fun trick. If you have quick beetle, you can actually do this from the entrance.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Our friend and developer Esme pointed this out at some point before the Remlets tournament and blew people's minds.
I mean, I definitely would not have thought of doing that, so...
There's some fun little rando things.
Oh, yeah. Alright, so it's just gonna be boring to be a key, probably. No.
No.
Malcolm bits, okay.
You know what that means?
Yeah.
About half of Boko base is now doable. Not that you want to, but...
Yeah, I think for sure you go and get those earrings before you go.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the worst case scenario is that your Amber tablet is sitting in lower Boko base. Adri having a little trouble. Unfortunately, the spin dive is not super precise, but there is... If you run off this log with the water only one level, you can actually grab the vine here.
Mm.
With a roll like that. It's not that those vines are a problem. It's that swimming there with the scale is a pain. Because it's really easy with scale to just overshoot the logs in some way.
Hook beetle, okay.
Okay. So now, genuinely, all of lower Boko base is in logic.
Yeah, I think
Adri is going to check 3 eyes here. It's interesting. Has Adri figured out this can't be a key? Yeah, I said half harm, not all. We also know where the earrings are, and it's a terrible location. So yeah. Mario having trouble with the same swim in the same place. The swimming mechanic in this game is a little janky sometimes. Yeah, I mean, if this is a small key, we might see Mario kind of deduce that and bit warp here to skip this chest. But no, he's not going to either.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily know that it actually saves it. I mean, it's a little time save, it's not huge. In fact, with Hook Beetle, though, I would have been more inclined to skip it because there's a way to skip the small key door altogether with Hook Beetle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There are several ways in this dungeon to skip the second small key. Yeah, not much else to say.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be we're headed towards both runners are gonna handhold for quite a while, but
yeah. So, no, you can actually use the hook beetle. There's a bomb flower. If you have the scale, there's a bomb flower here by this door Audrey is going into. And you can actually carry that bomb flower all the way over to blow up the crystal. But yeah, you have to do it without the bomb bag. You have to be on this layer. And I'm not going to say it's a free trick. Like, you have to kind of know the lineup for it. But the reason I was talking about skipping this is there are other ways you can also skip the door. And so if you can figure out that this is just a second small key, it can save you a little time, but it's nothing that is like game-changing time save. We're gonna get to see some vines.
Yeah,
Everyone's
that's
favorite.
Who doesn't love when you ping this chest?
This is one of my least favorite checks in the game, just because the vine mechanic is.
It's not the best, I think.
Yeah.
Good old H.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, we're going to see the runners holding hands, but I think basically both runners are going to leave here and go back to Eldin.
Yeah, I think with a good portion of Boko Base open, a few dig spots as well.
Well, and with Hook Beetle, logically you can do almost all of Earth Temple.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily want to do Earth Temple without the Hook Beetle, but now you have a little more reason to. Double dipping it is not horrible.
It's just not ideal.
Yeah.
Slingshot.
And you never want to double dip a dungeon in this game, but of the ones you could, Earth Temple is
like
generally less bad.
Yeah.
Like Earth Temple and Cistern, because they kind of have a one hub area, tend to be less bad. And yes, very important to get your H's in the chat.
Yes. Tis the law of Skyview Temple. Or to Skyview. Okay.
This is a fairly straightforward fight. There is some RNG, how many darts you get, things like that, but...
Yeah. Much like other Zelda games, with it being the first boss of the game. Not gonna be too, they're not gonna make it too tough.
No.
And that was overall pretty clean.
This is not Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, where the first boss massacres you several times.
True.
Or Zelda 2, where just everything kills you.
We don't talk about Zelda 2.
Don't tell Mariah that. That's a reference anyone who does not watch Zelda 2 Randomizer won't get. Yeah, I mean, I think from here we are going to see Audrey just warp to start.
I think that seems reasonable.
You've got 5 dig spots. You've got most of Earth Temple. You can do. You're gonna put off Boko Base longer, but like your check density here is Earth Temple.
Mm-hmm.
As much of a pain as it is to do with Hook Beetle and no bomb bag, but
Yeah.
And
honestly, it would not shock me if we run into a bomb egg somewhere along the way here.
Yeah, I don't know how comfortable either of these two runners are with Bombless Scaldera either.
It can be pretty tricky.
Yeah, I don't know one way or the other. Some runners feel very comfortable with it, some do not.
Yeah, we'll see.
If you did know it and felt comfortable with it, this would be a good time to do it, I think. Yeah, not surprising Adri is making his way up.
Yeah. Would not shock me if Mario joins him.
Yeah. Thought maybe there's a chance Adri would do the two lower dig spots first. Because there's not a great way to route them in here.
I think that's kind of the unfortunate part of this, is there's not... I guess you could do that, you could go...
You would do them and then warp to start and come back up to the top this way.
That does make sense.
These are things I think about as a runner of the game. How to efficiently do things.
Yeah, I mean, we could... Wouldn't shock me if we see him do Earth Temple and then go grab those afterwards, maybe.
Yeah, those two other dig spots are just not in a convenient spot.
Yeah.
Is Mario... Oh, he's checking the hand that he had not grabbed.
Headed up to the sky, actually. So I guess we are going to see a little divergence here.
Yeah, he might want to check the rest of... Sorry, I'm just trying to think of what that Lake Florida Tenless is.
Did we find, like, anything in Floria yet? I feel like we haven't seen much.
Was it? It could have been mitts. We saw a wallet, but weren't second mitts in Floria? Harp?
Harp, maybe?
Why do I feel like Mago mitts were in Floria?
I think they were. And if that's the case, that is annoying.
Second mitts were Skyview, right? Okay.
First mitts were...
not in Floria.
Yeah, I forget where exact. I think they're on Skyview somewhere.
I mean, that... Harp is your path item, is... I don't know how I feel about that.
It doesn't feel great.
There are 3 options other than Silent Realms.
Mm-hmm.
I think. There's the item from Colin. There is the song from Impa. There's Gorko. Everyone's favorite.
It would not shock me if we get hinted a trial and there's something important on it. Maybe like C-Map is on a trial or something?
Yeah, I mean, or just Linear Trial. Or not Linear Trial. Amber Tablet.
Amber Tablet, yeah.
Yeah.
That could also be.
Or, God forbid, a trial chain.
Oh god. Why would you speak that into existence?
Because a seed I did for a marathon had that.
That's disgusting. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Also, the first ever Skyward Sword randomizer seed I had like a 3 trial chain. This is before Dust Relic.
That's disgusting.
Randomizer is fun sometimes. It's not.
It's fine when it decides to not be a colossal POS, but...
I mean, there's a trick to that, which is never get Trez to roll your seed.
Well, your first mistake was asking Trez to roll you a seed, but...
No, I did not my first seed. I didn't know Trez then. Yeah, I mean, I don't think we're gonna see any divergence here.
I would be.
Mario's a couple minutes behind Adri going to Earth Temple.
Yeah, he did go ahead and grab a couple other checks that Adri doesn't have yet, but
the reason Adri did not douse that chest is you do have to grab it to get this item here from the magma.
Mm-hmm.
Which is also interesting. And you're going to see the fun of using the Hook Beetle in Earth Temple, which is slow and kind of painful. But if you've played enough SSR, you know how to do this. If you have not, you will get very confused.
Being able to skip that in HDR?
Yeah, you just have to beat the, in the HD randomizer, you just have to beat those Alphos. You don't have to pick up the chest.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
They have streamlined a number of things in various ways. Okay, Adri, I think, is still thinking about doing the RBM here. But I don't think it's faster. Because the chest after the whole lava tunnel has something.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe with Hook Beetle, doing this with Hook Beetle it is, but
even then I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Admittedly.
I think if that chest at the end of the lava tunnel has something, it's faster to just do this vanilla. But I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, we are going to see our first back in time of the seed. Mario getting a little trolled by the keys here as well.
They like to do that.
So, back in time. Basically, Audrey is going to gaslight the game into thinking he's done something he has not done. Ever since Pix called this gaslighting, it has been impossible for me to think of it as something other than that.
I mean, they're right. You basically are just...
Yeah. Yeah, so you see Audrey doing this Wii Motion Plus. The reason why is if you actually get off the title to the splash screen, it will crash the game in Back in Time when you enter the Night Academy. But if you press A to run on that Wii Motion Plus page or to open the door, it will essentially stop the memory. So what he's doing is talking to Pipit there will set a memory flag. That is the same flag for raising the bridge here. So this is the bridge racing. Now you're going to see him reset by dying. And that will actually bring the bridge up.
I applaud whoever went through the game's memory and was like, okay, here's what every single one of these flags ends up doing.
Yeah,
I can't even imagine how much work that must have taken.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know everyone who did it. I know Gymnast had a prominent part, but I think it was a community effort on a number of things.
Yeah. And there we go. Yeah, we'll see if Mario decides to do the RBM here.
Yeah. I
guess
don't
I
know
don't.
if Mario will.
Okay.
Because both of those chests are pinging. And when that's the case, you just lose less time going through.
Yeah, I mean, I unfortunately don't know either of these runners super well, so I don't know like their tendencies, but okay, C chart.
Yeah. And then I just don't know how either of them feels about Bomb with Scaldera.
Yeah, like I said, it's one of those things. It's pretty tricky, so...
Yeah, but the fact that
also,
Adri is running up makes me think he is. Unless he doused this chest and it had something. Because Earth Temple has only one loading zone, so you can douse every chest from anywhere. Boss key chest did ping. Thank you. I appreciate that, Fire from Firelaw. Very clean stutter sprint that doesn't even look like a stutter sprint from Adri. He's doing it so efficiently.
No, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah. Usually you at least see Link's model slowing down a little bit, but that was perfect timing.
Alright. What's our boss key got for us here? Bait.
Yep. The fact that Adri's not warping out, I do think we're going to see Bomb with Scaldera. The thing about this trick that is hard, really, is if you're an any percent runner, you have got a sword. It is very consistent to do. A higher sword level that you have, like every sword level, there's a different strategy. So you don't just need to know one Bombless Scaldera. You need to know 4 Bombless Scalderas.
Yeah.
Because Longsword and White Sword deal the same, or 3. Longsword, White Sword deal the same, Master Sword and True Master Sword deal the same. Point being, this is not an easy trick. It is actually quite easy to soft lock yourself here. If you make a mistake.
Yeah, let's see how Adri does here.
So essentially, for the beginning of this, you do have to run up and get a. So Scaldera is going to run into that first bomb flower, and then you're going to roll a bomb down, so Scaldera breathes it in. And this part's not super hard, but you have to be careful. And yeah, Adri did not get down fast enough. So he is skipping this cycle.
I do not blame him.
Yeah. You didn't feel confident about it, and you really want to maximize your damage, and so...
Okay. This one looks better. Looks like he'll be...
Yeah. It is... First phase is not as tricky. It's second phase where even if you do things right, you can soft lock. That's not going to work. Oh.
That's rough, but I think we're okay.
Yeah, and that's the other thing that makes this tricky is if he breathes in when it's unexpected. Now he's going to launch. Yeah.
Yep.
This is, I want to be clear, like this is an advanced strategy, although it is used in the any percent run. The Skyward Sword any percent run is notably quite difficult, I would say.
Yeah. I don't know if it's quite the most difficult because there's a lot of really hard Zelda games.
Yeah. I can't judge what is the most or least difficult, but
I mean, I know on a personal note, Wind Waker any percent is probably the one I find the hardest, but that's the only one I've ever ran. So.
I mean, that requires manual super slims, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's a special kind of hard.
That one's like a break your hand kind of hard, not a like.
Yeah, I mean, in the any percent speedrun, Earth Temple is the hardest. Generally, the hardest part until the end.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we're definitely seeing Adri struggle with what is a tough trick.
Yep. Mario also going to be joining in the fun here. We'll see how it goes for them, but...
Alright. Adri's probably back on track. As long as he rolled this right. This should... There we go.
Gets it.
And if he got... Yeah. So phase 2, what you have to do is a precise timed Skyward Strike to hit the eye. You can't throw a bomb down from the top. There's no way to do it, so...
Ooh, just missed.
And the problem is if you miss, you can soft block eventually.
Yeah.
Mario having a little trouble too.
Nope. Just off again from Adri. Yeah, this fight sucks if you don't have a bomb egg. So
yeah, it is a, as I said, not an easy trick to do. I have not gotten one of these Skyward Strikes once, just for fun. But the timing is precise. It is something people practice a lot. Because you've got to, once he starts breathing in like that, you can't do it. You have to kind of get it. I think...
Looks like Audrey's going to
cutting your
bite the bullet
if you're struggling makes a lot of sense. Like,
yeah.
You know, the thing is, though, I think you can warp to start out of here, but yeah, Adri saved before he came in here.
Mm-hmm.
Very important if you're doing this trick to save before you come in.
Yes,
Mario is going to try and throw a bomb from here. I don't know if this works. But yeah, we're kind of seeing both runners struggle with this. This is not in logic.
Yeah, I don't know why that happened.
And yeah, Mario is just going to death warp out. So both runners, this is not an easy trick.
No.
And if you have not practiced it a lot, even if you have practiced a lot, it can be hard.
Oh yeah, I'm sure even if you talk to guys like, like Jim and all them, Is Mario running it back, I guess?
He is, yeah.
Okay, salty run back. Not sure if I agree with that, but...
I mean, to some extent you wonder, is this sunk cost fallacy?
I mean, the other thing, too, is he is playing with a one-game lead, so he might be willing to be a little bit more aggressive. Knowing that, hey, even if this, like, completely loses me the race, I still have another chance. but Adri just gonna go quick grab some scattered checks throughout Elden here.
The reason Mario is Skyward striking for some of these earlier ones is just Skyward Strike does more damage, but you saw kind of miss the rocks there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
that should be phase 2. Yep.
yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll see how this goes from Mario. I mean, if Mario can get this, this would be a nice. There we go.
Adri did not finish Earth Temple. So both runners have struggled a lot with Bombless Caldera. Adri cut bait and gave up. Mario actually left and came back in.
Had a really clean second fight too. So
yeah,
we'll see we'll see overall if this matters too much.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely a time sink for both of them, but like this is now good for Adri because he's not gonna have, or not. This is good for Mario because he's not gonna have to come back. But
yeah,
Mario is not gonna be feeling good about this. Audrey's also not gonna be feeling good about this. I don't know what else to say.
I mean, like, yeah, it just kind of feels bad whenever you sink a lot of time into a check and don't get it. But
yeah, and yeah, Yal is here scouting out his next round opponent.
Where were you this morning, Yal? Come on.
Yal's on the West Coast. This is way too early for him.
It was early for me.
It was not early for me, but I'm a morning person.
If you didn't tell
and
me,
a whole lot of nothing. So, at least like logically, all he got was money that was useless.
Mm-hmm. That is good for Adri. That there's not like something stupid locked behind that. I mean, I feel like if it was
Hammer tablet.
I feel like if it was one of those, we would have already seen it by now, but or we would have probably seen a bomb bag by now if.
That's a good point. Although, game does like making you double dip Earth Temple more than some of the other dungeons.
That is also true.
Did Mario? Oh, he's pinging the spiral charge rocks. He forgot to do that earlier.
Gotcha.
I mean, we are running pretty low on things to do outside of Skyloft cleanup.
For how fast of a start the seed was. Excuse me.
Like, Mario did skip the last 2 dig spots. And yeah, Boko Base, I mean, we are definitely getting to the point where Boko Base is something to consider.
Mm-hmm. As it does look like Mario's going to quick peek that last beetle check.
So Audrey's at 9 checks accessible. 4 or 5 of those are in Boko Base. With the items he has, he can get everything in the non-summit area. And then it's a bunch of Skyloft cleanup.
Mm-hmm.
These 2 items on Beetle that he hasn't checked yet. This item here from Colin, like... Oh!
Okay.
Although... those open a couple things in Farron right now.
Yeah. Relates to Lanero where they're like...
And they'll make Boko Base faster.
Mm-hmm.
But...
Yeah, okay.
yeah, I mean, Mario, it'll make his Skyloft routing a little more efficient too, because he'll get to route in Zelda's Closet with some other things in Knight Academy. Although he didn't pick up Colin's letter.
True.
But that didn't give us anything.
Yeah, so actually that's good for Colin. For Mario.
Yeah.
I don't know why I said Colin.
Because it's very easy to mix up names when you're commentating.
True.
Okay. There's another sword.
Sword of Zelda's.
And meanwhile, while we're kind of watching the runners exchange things, want to give a belated 1 hour. Please go give both of our runners a follow, Adri and Mario. Big thanks to our two trackers, Vibrant Viola, who is doing their second race today, and Fast is the one who jumped in somewhat last minute. And thanks to Snacks as well for jumping in for 2 commentaries today.
Heck yeah. It's a great way to spend a Saturday.
I spent the time between races finishing up the new Hunger Games book, too. So, productive day.
I went grocery shopping.
I did that before the race, so...
Oh, dang, you got up, like, crazy early then. Okay.
Yeah. I wake up at 6 a.m. most days. I don't sleep in.
That's usually, like, when I'm going to bed.
Well, you work night shift, so...
I do work night shift, so this morning was... Although I have learned to flip on my days off, because night shift sucks. Anyway.
Valid. Yeah, Audrey's kind of chasing some harp things because of that harp path. Can't do Gorko yet. I think with that potential harp path, you're praying that it is not Asylum Realm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, we're going to Sealed Temple, which usually, if you're seeing runners in here, it's not a lovely sign, but...
Yeah, I mean, Audrey does not want to go do Boko Base. He's going to go check the 3 things at the top of the Great Tree, and then if that doesn't have his progression, this is going to be a mandatory Boko Base double dip.
Yeah. I mean, the one... Yeah, I mean, the only thing... If you do find, like, Ferora's Courage or something, too, that would be...
That is the lower bomb bowl. Chest is dead. Or the item behind the rocks. Yeah, I mean, for a seed that started really fast, this bottlenecked pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And it's Boko Base.
Alright. Actually, is this faster than just warping to start? I feel like warping to start would be faster for me, right?
It's close, because actually traversing Elden Volcano is slow.
True.
And he might not have blown up the shortcuts either.
Oh.
Like, oftentimes in Elden, it is actually faster to... it is actually faster to fly. Audrey has not learned his starting statue, but it does not matter in Elden. Because of from where he spawned, there's no logical implications of the other starting statues. Because while your starting spawn can be outside Fire Sanctuary. Your first bird statue cannot be. And that's kind of the only spawn, even in Elden, that can do kind of weird things. So yeah, Boko Base, happy you have the claw shots here. But you are going to have to do some Hook Beetle shenanigans anyway to get up to the upper level. So you're kind of going through the slow way.
Yeah.
Although I think the only chest is one of these lower ones, so that helps. And we're going to see Mario probably go back and do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
He might check the 2 dig spots first, but valid. I mean, they can... Well, Adri doesn't have that sword in Zelda's closet. Mario will be able to full clear Thunderhead.
Yeah. I feel like Adri would... Or there's a decent chance that Adri would check Zelda's closet before going to Thunderhead, but...
Yeah, I mean, 5 locations accessible. I'm trying to just do the math on this.
2 of them are in Thunderhead.
3.
Or sorry, 3.
Yeah, 3 are in Thunderhead. 1 is Zelda's closet. Oh, the other is Gorko.
Mm.
Yes, the path could also be for Gorko. Which Adri is rushing Gorko. Honestly, not going to fault Adri for this at all.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder...
He's also probably holding out for a sword to go to Thunderhead, so that's part of it, but there's a decent chance at this point that Gorko is not hinted.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we have checked
like Harp Path.
We've checked a good portion of our hints already, and no info on this yet, so...
That is a good arrow.
I will admit, I am...
Oh! That's junk.
Okay, so Thunderhead it is?
Yeah. It's gotta be at this point.
Yeah.
Because we know those are the... I mean, the other check that is not in Thunderhead that Adri has is his sword. Mm-hmm. And maybe he's going to check it on his way?
Nope, right. Looks like we're headed straight there.
Yeah.
I don't fault Adri for this.
No, not at all.
Obviously, like, we're saying this with God vision of the seed being like, oh, he should go do this, but...
Yeah.
Numerically, you're going to take the 3 over 1.
The way he routed everything he did in that last Skyloft cleanup made perfect sense with the information he had.
For sure.
And going back for Zelda's closet is a little slow and inconvenient.
Yeah.
Like, it all makes sense. Oh, that's rough.
That is so obnoxious. Oh my god. So that's going to be really good for Mario as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's you know, a minute or so, but
it's not the end of the world.
No, I mean, it's all things that add up, especially because I do feel like if Adri had not tried Boundless Caldera, he would be further ahead. But having tried, like, losing a lot of time on that. And then Mario getting it just is one of those things that's kind of like, it's really unfortunate, but it just kind of adds to the time loss.
Mm-hmm.
But also, if the thing that's required here in Thunderhead is on the white sword, that's just like another kind of really unfortunate. Like, for Audrey's sake, I hope it's not.
Yeah, because that would be real annoying. Because Thunderhead is very slow to get to.
Oh, well, he got bailed by that sword.
Had something that was required. I don't.
Amber Tablet.
Okay.
In Skyloft Trial.
So.
So we know where both runners are going now.
Pretty much just going to come down to who's going to route Skyloft Trial a little bit differently.
Yeah, I mean, Mario is still missing. So both runners are still missing the Triforces.
Mm-hmm.
And then potentially they might need Cave's Key. But those are all the things they're going to need to beat the seed. Well, and Audrey's going to need a bomb bag. And
wood. Oh, sorry, never mind, they have wood.
Yeah. We do know that those earrings cannot lock. So the earrings have to lock a Triforce. They can't lock the bomb bag. Because everything... Well, actually, I shouldn't say that. They could lock the bomb bag.
If that's the case, that is disgusting.
Because the bomb bag could be in regular Volcano Summit chest.
Yes, and if that's the case, both runners will probably hate you for life.
Location that.
Yeah.
They'll hit Randobot. Randobot rolled the seed.
True.
This morning, I had to manually do a random number generator, but today...
Oh, Randobot's fixed?
Yeah.
Let's go, Randobot.
Let's go, CJ, for getting it back up.
Shoutouts to CJ.
Yeah. We'll see. Yeah. Neither runner gets harp cancel. I don't know if they even tried for it.
Yeah, I didn't see like any input viewers or anything, so...
Yeah.
Although
there's not really an input viewer for... I don't know that there's an input viewer for Wii.
It wouldn't make a ton of sense just with... I don't know how it would track like movement and all that, but... Regardless.
Audrey's checking the hint again. I think with 2 items, we are going to see the runners full clear the Silent Realm.
I would.
2 items and the one that's hinted is required. I don't think you can risk it. Especially with this kind of bottleneck. Like maybe someone's going to do it. Okay, well that's...
That's one.
Well, no, that might not be it. So, if there's nothing locked behind Beetle's insect cage, that might not be the second item. But yeah, Mario and Audrey both kind of taking the risk that this is not on the reward now.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of. Is that the tablet? I don't think it is.
Doesn't look like it.
Yeah, it didn't look like it was on the poll. So they're gonna have to clear the Silent Realm anyway. But yeah, because Beetle's insect cage only unlocks one thing, it can actually be considered a not required item. This is one of those wrinkles of the hint that takes some getting used to.
Yeah, admittedly, like I am not by any means an expert on hints, but
yeah, and the fact that Audrey's not getting that tells me that it's nothing, because he clearly peaked it.
Mm-hmm.
that a beetle? Yeah.
That's a beetle.
Okay, so that actually tells us the insect cage is not required. They're not going to have to turn that item in. But the reason Adri skipped that then is he saw it was a beetle. And he knew with Quick Beetle, there's absolutely no use.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I shouldn't say that yet. There's a tiny chance your bomb bag is locked behind Tough Beetle.
This is a little spooky for Mario, but I think he'll be okay.
I think he'll be okay. It's generally pretty easy to get this one without getting killed, but you have to watch out for this guy.
I've seen him.
I've seen that guy kill you as you are trying to roll into it.
Yeah. He can be pretty mean if he wants to be.
Yeah. Violent Realms in general can just be mean.
Yeah, they're not my favorite, but
yeah, we as the community kind of realized the only way you could make Silent Realms work is with adding Dusk Relics. Because otherwise, right, it's one check that you have to just do this long sequence for. Like, it's not particularly fun or dynamic or interesting.
No.
So the Dusk Relic Shuffle that Yao developed has been really nice.
Okay.
I do kind of expect that cave ski is going to be required one way or the other. That it's something locked behind one side of cave ski is going to have a Triforcer lead to it.
Yeah.
But this seed is also giving me Zelda's Blessing suspicions with the Master Sword so early and our dungeons before. I'm just going to put a pin in it that one of our Triforces might just be on Zelda's Blessing. Or
honestly,
like...
that seems like a valid... I don't want to say
something.
something.
Bag cannot be. Did you know that?
Ooh. That is a...
Yeah. Well, cave ski is not required to do sand ship. Mm-hmm. Gust Bellows could be on Zelda's Blessing, though.
Could be.
I mean, that's kind of the item we're looking for to figure out what's going on with those earrings. Like, the earrings are still a mystery. It's probably a Triforce. Elden Trial's dead. So, yeah, we've seen the only trial we're going to see all seed.
Yeah. That's not too overly surprising to me.
No. And nothing here. All right, now I'm really wondering, like, where are the bellows? Where's the caves key?
Yeah, we're getting real bottlenecked.
Mario didn't even douse, so he's losing a little time here.
Yeah, I don't fully know why he didn't.
I think he might have just assumed, and he's going to get to the first chest and then start dousing. And realize, oops, I didn't have to do any of this. And there we go.
And you called it. Yep, double checking to make sure, but
yeah. It is completely reasonable just to assume something's going to ping in Pirate's Stronghold every time.
Yeah, I think probably a good like 90% of the seeds I've played or watched have had something in here. Or at least something ping.
Yeah, okay. And without Bomb Bag, we are probably not going to see either runner do the masked skip trick.
No.
There's a pretty consistent setup with Bomb Bag. There's a way to do it without it, but it's a lot more precise. Also, looks like the mass chest has something, so you wouldn't mass skip anyway.
There you go.
But yeah, I mean, so Adri has 14 locations accessible. Most of these are here in Sandship.
Yeah, looks like
there's a couple things in Elden that Adri checked that Mario hasn't, but we're gonna see them following each other here.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel kind of bad. Usually in randos, you tend to see a little bit more route diversions, but this seed is pretty like, all right, go here, do this thing, get this item. No real way around it, so a little unfortunate, but
pretty nice place to get your first small key.
Yeah, it's actually...
We are going to see them... We will probably see them save Scum this key for the vanilla boss key chest.
Mm-hmm.
And if that has nothing, we'll see them do Skirvo just to kind of route a little more efficiently. There's a reason why in the Remlets tournament we started with both small keys. To make this faster. No, Adri actually not going to, and I probably would have saved Scum here, only because you can potentially suss out that you don't have to do the brig. Ooh, Mario missing the jump. Yeah, potentially if you don't need both small keys, you can kind of suss things out, and so the save Scum here can be pretty useful. And yeah, that is what Mario is going to do. This is just one of these weird places where key logic gets weird in Randomizer. Because neither key door is locked behind each other. The logic expects you to have 2 keys to do both. Yeah, we are gonna see Audrey save, so we are seeing him not save scum this key, but check this one. Skirvo, not the most fun check.
No.
And, especially, this is getting changed, but currently the randomizer does not expect you to be able to buy a shield to do this fight. Which is very silly. Because this fight without a shield is not fun. But yeah, we did not get any of our sand chip hints.
Yeah, we're totally blind for this one, but
yeah, it makes me think that probably one of them is somewhere in Volcano Summit.
That seems reasonable.
Be careful, Mario.
Yeah.
2 hearts, you're okay.
Okay.
Was that?
That was a Triforce.
Well, okay. And that was the boss key on the other one. So, yep. Both keys required. No way around it.
Nope.
Could technically skip it with the high flip. Yes. I don't know that that's a strategy that Audrey knows. And yeah, this is the second small key is going to be on the brig too, although they can't skip it really anyway, but that'll just be the way. Yeah, the bomb bag is kind of looming large here. It feels to me like the bomb bag is probably going to be here, or it's going to be in Skipper's Retreat.
I feel like it almost has to at this point. I mean, I'm sure logically it doesn't, but...
I mean, it could be in Desert if we get through this key.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the big thing that's going to open a lot of things up.
Yes, for sure.
Sorry for the yawn.
How dare you?
I know. It's not that I'm bored. It's that I did not sleep well last night.
Fair enough.
How loaded is Treasure Room today?
What?
Not a 5 for 5.
Three out of 5. Okay.
I think just 2.
Was it just 2? I thought
Well,
there's
okay.
there's our bombs. I thought that fourth chest bong. Never mind. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be a lot better for Mario, that bomb placement, than for Adri, I think, at this point. Just kind of unfortunately, right? Like, the later bombs were, and the more you had to do to get them. Because Mario is just closer to go mode at this point, because of Earth Temple. And those bombs will just allow him to clear a lot more in Lineru, more efficiently. And so it does feel like Mario is a couple minutes ahead at this point. It's not huge, but just not having to go back and beat Scaldera again, unfortunately, could be the difference. Yeah, that Triforce too, if Adri doesn't go back and do Skirbo. And
yeah,
that is a check that you very well... That is a check that if you feel behind and you feel like you're slower, you will gamble and skip.
Yeah, I mean, as Number said, it's completely GG if he were to skip it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, at this point now, too, the third Triforce is probably... or one of the Triforces is Earrings Locked. Yeah, I mean, the bellows are the thing that are kind of... I jokingly said this, yeah, if the bellows are on Skydive chests, the runners are going to hate the seed. Although, like, ironically, if you have to climb all the way for Skydive chest, do you potentially enter the shack when you get to the top so you can death warp back? If on the off chance the bellows are there. Yeah, I don't know. I do have a feeling Adri is gonna skip Skirvo now, but he may just go back into the dungeon to do it.
Okay.
And we're going to see the Tendless fight. It is very much kind of an auto-scroller. 100% cannot skip it.
I would have had many questions if somebody even tried, but...
Yeah, I mean, Tendless skip is in only in go mode.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're missing Bellows, and there's one Triforce we're kind of still waiting to figure out. And Bellows could be on Zelda's Blessing. We did not get the Triforce hint. So that's also kind of a potential mystery. But that Triforce hint at this point is somewhere in Volcano Summit. So it may not be useful. It also could be for the Triforce here in Sanchit. Mario having some calibration issues.
Classic.
There we go.
Got there eventually, but
Yeah. Yeah, auto scroller, boss fight done from Audrey's side. And once again, we are really low on checks.
yeah, that seems to be the oh.
Well, good.
I mean, that doesn't do a lot for us, but
yeah, I mean it's slightly good for Audrey, but he's probably gonna check Zelda's. So we don't have the caves key, so we cannot get into Linear Desert. Audrey is probably going back to Earth Temple now. Yeah, skipping Skirvo, I think, is going to be pretty brutal.
yeah, like you were saying though, it's understandable. I mean, it sucks because that's probably going to be the thing that ends up costing Adri in this race, but
Yeah, I mean, I do think Audrey feels behind because of the Boundless Caldera.
yeah.
And these things kind of have a way of snowballing where you feel behind and then you start taking more risks and um,
D part 3. True.
yes.
I mean, actually, with how the seed's going, Adri's still definitely.
Is definitely behind.
Yeah.
But this is
Depending
I don't
on.
know. It's
Yeah.
like we're waiting to see where the Triforces are, despite the fact that all 3 dungeons are completable. There's still a decent amount they just can't do.
Yeah.
They don't have Cave's Key. They don't have Bellows to get Fire Shield earrings. Like, it's comms. We're not talking because we're just kind of seeing the runners do things the other ones have done. Mario is about to do some things, I think, finally, that Audrey has not. And, like, so right now, I think the runners are basically even. Well, no, they're not. Mario is ahead because of the Triforce on Skirbo. If Audrey had gotten the Triforce at this point, they would be pretty much even.
Yeah.
But I'm just trying to think of like where Mario is going to go from here, what he can do. I don't know if either runner went to Skippers and pinged it. It's been a while and I forgot. I mean, Cave's Key on the Ruby Pillar would be terrible. Absolutely
I guess
horrible.
from our point of view, theoretically, I guess it would be if you like watching runners
Impossible.
suffer. Oh, it's
Yeah.
impossible. Yeah.
No, it is possible.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, I think Mario is going back to do these 2 dig spots he skipped.
Yeah, I mean, you have such little stuff open that you kind of have to start looking at, like, all right, what did I skip? We know that this really isn't all that useful, but or not. I guess we're.
I think Mario chose the wrong entrance.
Oh, okay.
No, he is checking. He is checking Zelda's blessing.
Okay.
Uh,
I mean, this. I mean, this obviously feels bad, but at this point, it's also like. It's a classic, like, do you know what's gonna happen here? I don't know, but. Yeah,
oh,
Zelda's
right.
classic one.
This Bomble Rock had something. I forgot about this.
I think we all did. Well, we're gonna see the runners hold hands and get it together, so. Okay.
I think Zelda's Closet makes a lot of sense, or Zelda's Blessing makes a lot of sense to check.
Yeah.
Mario, I don't think got this hint, but wasn't Earring Skip patched out, Yal? Or was it not? Oh, the other Earring Skip. Yeah.
So in theory, we could see earring skip.
That Earring Skip doesn't help. That's the one to get the statue.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't do anything. Yeah.
Like, yeah. I would have probably save scummed this if I were Adri. Kikwi Elder was hinted dead.
Yeah.
So Mario should know that Beetle's crystals have nothing, but may not know. We were able to figure this out because Skyloft Silent Realm had Horn Colossus Beetle, a Progressive Beetle, and the Amber Tablet. So the Horn Colossus Beetle has to be the junk item.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's all but impossible for a Progressive Beetle to be useless. To be not required. But this is like super advanced hint logic understanding.
Okay.
I mean, I think that just means the
fetch
baby
quest.
rattle.
The fetch quest chain will continue.
Yeah. I mean, it's possible though that Audrey is also going to go down this rabbit hole. Oh, we got a... That is unfortunate for Audrey.
Mm-hmm.
Audrey is not feeling good right now. I'll just... There's a note on his stream.
Oh. Okay, well. Adri finally picking up their Zelda Closet Sword. The seat's been really... It's been kind of casino for a while.
Like it's... Yeah.
It's been very, like, bottlenecky the whole time, and a lot of the items have been in really bad spots.
It's not the worst seed.
No. It's a bit obnoxious, but... Alright, Mario, where are we heading?
Yeah, I mean, I think we are going to see the pillar. And then probably Skipper's Retreat. And I don't think the Quick Beetle can quite get up there. It was like, you could try it. But I don't think it would work. I think it's a little too high.
I honestly do not know.
Well, at least that's not Cave's Key. This is going to be a Skipper's Retreat double dip.
Bless you.
Thank you. Sorry, it's spring. Allergies are a little
Hey, I get it. As somebody who also deals with really bad allergies this time of year.
I don't get bad allergies, but I have worse ones than normal this year.
I think the issue by me is the weather's been so, like, it'll get really warm and then it'll, like, go back to cold. Like, it's done that, like, 10 times now. My sinuses are like, can we not?
Yeah. I definitely took a COVID test this week because I was like, I'm really congested. I don't feel sick.
Not a bad idea.
All right, let's see.
Cave's
Key. That's our Cave's Key.
Let's see.
So this is a required double dip. This is like this is
random
far from the
why?
worst seed. I mean, this is far from the worst seed I've seen.
Oh, it's not the worst I've seen, but it's just like, I mean, that should open up quite a bit for us, but...
Wrong game, Cinny. So, the big thing, if you're coming in, we got a hint that Chest and Shack has required Fire Shield earrings, which has to lock our last Triforce piece. So, we're looking for Gust Bellows. Adri, unfortunately, also skipped a Triforce on Skirbo. Yeah, I mean, Triforce and Sandchip would be helpful for... and that...
Okay, so that
is really bad for Adri here.
Yeah, Mario's gonna see that and do a little happy dance, because assuming he understands the hints, that should just be go for him.
Yeah, we can't mark it as go mode, but
yeah,
there are 5 places that we think the Triforce has to be. There's not like a fetch quest item or anything else that it could be locking, so the Triforce is either in Boko Base or Summit.
Summit, yeah. Of course, this is a rare seed where we didn't get a Summit Foolish Hint, so
yeah.
I feel like that seems to be a pretty common...
Yeah, this was an unfortunate seed. I do feel like, I feel like a lot of what happened kind of goes back. Yep. Mario knows.
Yep, he's just checking the hint to see,
but he's No, you can't do that, Mario. You gotta use claw shots.
Yeah, nice try, but
What was the hint? The hint was the Skipper's Retreat chest and shack has fire shield earrings required. With where we are in the seed, we know with 100% certainty that means it's locking our Triforce. Because the Triforce is the only thing that's left.
yep.
Yeah, I mean, it's... There was a very tiny world where it could have pointed to Bomb Bag before we got it. So, yeah. I mean, Adri is going back here, too. With Mind Dead and Gorge Dead, he didn't have to do a lot, and I think he figured this out. It's just... Like I said, it's like... I think a lot snowballed with the Balma Scaldera issues. But yeah,
Yeah, unfortunately not a ton to talk about here. We're just kind of
yeah.
making our way to our earrings, and then we'll see how they do with, or where it is, if it's Bokoblins or Summit.
Yeah, I mean, it's... You're going to do Boko base before Vanilla Summit.
Yeah.
Just because it's 4 things rather than 1, and it's more efficient.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we're seeing both runners do this. I mean, it's... Maybe Adri, maybe Summit has the hint that the Triforce is in Sandchip.
Yeah, if you're an Adri fan, that's...
But even then, Skirvo is a several-minute check.
Yes.
And so... Like, I think... He's not really worried about hints at this point. Because he can do 18 of 19 locations.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean it like this seed was really neck and neck, and it still, I mean, the whole way it was pretty neck and neck because it was pretty bottlenecked. Like
Yeah.
um it definitely felt like one of the more bottlenecked seeds I've seen, where it was just like both runners getting put into the exact same bottleneck over and over. Really, other than Bombless Scaldera, there were not a lot of sequence breaks to be had. But
Yeah, I mean, this is... It's unfortunate, obviously.
yeah, it Bombless Scaldera is a really hard trick, and it trips people up. There's more gratitude crystals. We're down to 2 now. Um,
Nope, still not there.
so it is the chest.
Yep.
After all that. Um, yeah, Mario didn't even douse because he knows this has to be it. And we know this has to be it, because there's not even like a fetch quest item it could be.
The claw shots, whatever, decide to work. Yeah. This should be go mode from Mario.
Yeah. Yeah, and for Adri, unfortunately, still missing that Triforce on Skirvo.
Yeah.
And my guess is in his position, that's going to be the last thing he does, just because it's so slow. And again, it's like, that's such a reasonable gamble because it's possible tinted. It's a slow check. You feel behind.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's a completely rational thing to skip. When you, I think Adri after Scaldera felt very behind. My guess is Mario also felt behind after Scaldera, though.
Yeah,
I think
especially...
that's going to be the interesting thing talking to both of them. Because they both probably felt like they had a really bad time. Yeah, we see Audrey checking this hint. Gonna check the other one here. I think the only hint we haven't seen is the Gorge hint. But yeah, Mario in go mode.
All right.
And clean horde
Clean
step.
horde. Yep.
Yeah. What checks are
top-
left in the seed?
That's a great
Fire
question,
node,
Riley.
lightning node, the chest on top of Alamath, Skirvo.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, the seed this morning was really close. This seed was also really close, and Adri was actually ahead until just like, I mean, I don't want to beat a dead horse and talk about it, but like the Bombless Scaldera went really poorly for both of them, but worse for Adri, and that kind of snowballed.
Yeah, I mean, in the end, the biggest thing was Adri understandably skipped Skirvo, and that's...
Yeah. I also think, I mean, to some extent, Mario was kind of underseeded here for his experience. Like, I think he came in pretty rusty. He ran all of his qualifiers in 24 hours. We kind of saw with the other person who did that they overcooked it a little, and their scores were maybe a little lower. Like, you know. Oh yeah, it will be a rematch from your first round. Yeah, so the winner of this best of 3, which looks like it will be Mario, is playing Yal. Mario and Yal played in round 1 because it was the 5-12 race. Yeah, I mean, it's Adri down to 4 checks accessible. I'm trying to think of what it is besides Skirvo, and I just don't know. One of them is the chest on top of Alamath, which was not hinted. Nice stun lock. True Master Sword makes that easier. But yeah, very clean Gearing 3. Oh yeah, Item in Bird's Nest is one that we haven't seen. But yeah, it's I think 2 very good races. Like, this race doesn't feel as close, but the runners were pretty even. It really is just one thing. The race this morning was super close as well. I think they were 2.5 minutes apart.
Something like that. All right. And that is GG's to Mario.
Yeah, and congrats to Mario on winning the best of 3. And I'm going to go. And yeah, and Adri is going to DNF. But the runners are both going to come in for an interview. So we will wait for them. But yeah, so Mario will move on to face your average Link in the losers round 4. And let's see, I see Adri in here, so I'm going to pull him in. GG Adri and GG Mario.
Thanks.
Hello.
GG's, guys.
So, what did you two think about the seed? We'll start with the broad question.
My first thought is the early hint of fire shield earrings being required in Shack. Very interesting, because with no fire sanctuary, earrings being hard required is a rarity. So that was cool. And then it made the end interesting too, because of the caves key in retreat to bellows in caves to go back to get Shack to get the earrings from Volcano Summit to get the earrings from the Shack and then go to Volcano Summit, which was I found kind of annoying. I basically last locationed that, or the caves key rather, not the bellows.
Yeah, we saw that hint right away and we're like, huh, that's interesting. And we're like, could that be something weird like the bomb bag, where your Triforce was?
Yeah,
I was wondering.
That's exactly why I tried Bombless Caldera, because a month ago they were a seed, it was beatable in 1 hour 20, I think, and they were close shots required, but only for bomb bag and everyone else Bombless Caldera. So I tried it, because I didn't want it to have that bomb bag behind hearing.
Yeah, at first I was wondering the same thing. I thought oh, surely it'll be for C chart or bomb bag or something. But no, it was just a Triforce, which a little more boring, but at least it's not a weird hint. I also very nearly missed the bellows, which would have been really sad. I got at the very start of the seed, when I was writing down my hints, I wrote down that Gorge, Caves, and Betrow were barren instead of Gorge, Mines, and Betrow. So when I was walking into Caves, I was under the impression that it had nothing useful, but I wanted to check both of the Gossip Stones, so I bumped into Golo's text trigger and he gave me the Gust Pillows.
Oh, wow.
And I was very confused for a moment, but if not for that Gossip Stone, I might have just walked straight past them and done everything else. And yeah, that would have been bad.
Yeah.
Gorge was barren in both of the seeds today, which is Gorge and Mines actually, I think, were barren in both of the matches today, which is kind of interesting.
I watched both of these and I did not remember that, despite putting the hints in for both of them, which maybe tells you about my own seed bleed.
Yeah, much me the one who has to commentate both.
Yeah.
No.
Trying to think of other questions. I mean, so you both talked about this in race time. If you watch back, Bombless Caldera did not go super well for either of you. We were, not that Snacks and I know how to do it, but we were talking a lot about that. I'm curious, Mario, did you feel behind because of that?
I was a little worried, especially after there was that and that between that and there was another point where I got bottlenecked, and I got bottlenecked by Bokoblin base. I did that almost last to get, what was there, Ballad, I think, for Thunderhead stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did that with basically no checks remaining, so between those two, I thought I was losing a lot of time. And I even wasted extra time in Bombless Caldera, because when I softlocked at first, I was like, okay, but I have the Hook Beetle. Can I try to maybe use that? I don't think it works.
Yeah,
I've never tried it. I've never tried it before, but it's just been a lingering thought in the back of my mind for so long. So I was like, maybe I'll give it a shot. But
it was a valiant effort.
Definitely not. Yeah.
I mean, overall, I think it was one of those things where it was a little unfortunate because obviously, I think from what it sounds like, yeah, both of you had your struggles on that, and that's definitely mentally tough knowing, oh god, if my opponent went for this and nailed it. Now I'm
Yeah,
feeling,
for sure.
no, I think both of you guys, it was a really fun race to watch, even though it was very bottlenecky.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, it was a pretty fun seed until Caldera.
Yeah, that's fair.
We talked about how it started really open, and then like an hour in, suddenly it was just constant bottleneck after bottleneck.
Yeah, I feel like I've found that either happens a lot. Seeds are either like they're like bottlenecky at the start and then open at the end, and it just like once you find that one thing, you just kind of can do whatever. Or they're like pretty open, but eventually there's like only one path at some point, and then that feels bad because it's like I had so many options, but the one option I picked, maybe I picked that one last, and that was the one I needed to go for.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like I'm losing a lot of time. But you never know. Maybe like your opponent did the same thing, but the lingering worries.
For sure.
I'm sure you guys understand.
Oh yeah. Trying to think if I have any other questions for you all.
I don't think I have any off the top of my head, but
I don't know if either of you two had anything else, either that you wanted to add.
Oh, the Earth Temple music was so bad. For my music rando, it was the goddess statue version of Din's Power. I had to listen to that for like 12 minutes. It's like a 5-second loop. It was so bad. I hope you guys did not use my audio during that part of the restream.
I honestly,
Because I used your audio in the morning, I used Audrey's.
Yeah, okay.
I try and mix it up. So
Stream viewers were spared the 5-second looping song.
oh god.
oh yeah.
I
love music rando, but it's like there's like 5 songs that I wish I could just get rid of.
Hey, that's fair enough. Because, yeah, that sounds pretty miserable.
I think that's all I had. Unless any of you have anything else.
I don't personally, but
Then, well, GG's to both our runners. I know, Audrey, you probably were hoping you'd go further, but it has been a good run in the tournament for you. Mario, you're going to get to play your average link. Please give both of our runners a follow. Thank you to Snacks for commentating with me, and thank you to Vibrant Viola for tracking. Both of them have done 2 today, and Fast the one for jumping in tracking as well. There will be a SSR race, losers round 4, Sledgen and Oni, tomorrow at 4:30 Eastern, plus a whole lot of other stuff on the ZSR channels, so keep your eyes open. And with that, we're going to go raid our friend Windblown Leaf, who's doing some Link to the Past rando. Have a good Saturday night, everyone. Thanks for watching.